Rep. Crockett called out Trump for handing out $42 billion to his buddies while Americans are literally trying to survive on $6.
I want to make sure that I enter this UC, which is one of the reasons that we are a bit skeptical of any immigration, quote unquote, enforcement laws that y'all are trying to pass. This UC is from The Guardian. It says immigrants with no criminal record now largest group in ICE detention. You know, I listened to Mr. Van Drew.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. I listened to Mr. Van Drew, who I do respect, and he went on and on and on about how this is about the bad guys. And I will be honest with you and tell you that when it came down to the election, there were a lot of people who really believed that the Republicans and the president were all about getting the bad guys out. People truly believed your words, but your actions are not matching up, because I've got the receipts showing that they are not matching up. And so call us a little paranoid in believing that the hypocrisy may continue to come from across the aisle. Speaking of hypocrisy, I do want to point out, since we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, because we couldn't talk about Epstein before. If y'all recall, we were gone for about 2 months because we couldn't talk about Jeffrey Epstein. And now everybody wants to act as if they want to have like a real honest conversation about the victims and the survivors and everybody else. Where was this conversation a long time ago? And I know that y'all love to go back and say that Joe Biden didn't do it. You know, Joe Biden is blamed for everything. Joe Biden didn't do anything and it was Joe Biden's fault, and why wasn't Joe Biden? Joe Biden didn't campaign on it. I just want to be clear. If y'all can run me the tape, then run me the tape. But you know, when you campaign and you go out and you make a promise, then we evaluate whether or not you actually meet your promises. So listen, this was rope that y'all decided to hang yourselves with because the president campaigned on the Epstein files while we were campaigning on things such as affordability. We were campaigning on the things that now people are complaining about, right? Because of the tariffs and the fact that you guys won't say anything and tell the president, hey, sir, tariffs are taxes. We as Republicans, we usually don't like taxes. And guess what? That's gonna make everything unaffordable. So now he's gonna be our big savior and he is gonna reduce the price of foods because he is the guy that actually increased the price of foods. So listen, if you can have this honest conversation about Epstein now, let's just go ahead with this lame duck president and be honest about everything that the American people care about. They care about affordability. They care about the fact that literally people are starving in this country because we have 42 million people, and I don't remember any one of you during that almost 2-month break deciding to go on faux news or any other news outlet and say, you know what, it is wrong to have 42 million people that are relying on $6 a day to eat, and we have the money because somehow our president was able to find under the couch cushion, the one that JD wasn't sitting on, under the couch cushion, he was able to find 40, how much did he find to send to Argentina? 40, there we go, 40 billion to send to Argentina. But those emergency funds, he couldn't find them emergency funds so that Americans could eat. So listen, if y'all are gonna be honest and talk about Epstein right now, let's be honest about everything that is causing y'all to lose real bad. Did y'all see the election results on November 4th? It didn't go very well. So let's just start having honest conversations so that hopefully some of y'all in some of these tight seats, maybe y'all can get reelected and we can just work together.
So Crockett starts by calling out this whole idea that Republicans are laser focused on getting the bad guys out. And honestly, the way she broke it down, it hit hard. She points to new data showing that the biggest chunk of people in ICE detention right now don't even have criminal records. Like, how do you square that with the talking points? That moment, man, I felt that shift in the room. You could see some folks didn't want to hear it. And then she pivots straight into the hypocrisy around the Epstein conversation. And look, I get it. That topic always stirs the pot. But Crockett basically said, y'all shut down the House for months because you didn't want this discussed. And now suddenly you're concerned? And honestly, yeah, that's a fair point. If you're going to talk accountability, talk it all the time, not just when it's politically convenient. But what really stuck with me was when she brought up affordability. 42 million Americans relying on basically pocket change to eat every day. That part hit hard. She's right. Nobody on the panel seemed eager to talk about hunger, poverty, or real-world struggle during that whole 2-month break. That frustration she showed? I felt that too. It's wild how the stuff Americans actually care about gets pushed to the side while everyone argues over talking points. And look, whether you agree with her or not, Crockett made it impossible to ignore the gap between slogans and reality. That's what hearings should be. Uncomfortable truth, not just performance. At the end of the day, though, man, I just wish somebody in that room would step back and say, okay, what actually helps people? Because the division is exhausting. All this political theater while families are struggling, it's rough to watch.